God says, important alert. Archangel Michael says, you are seeing this message because God Himself has arranged it in divine timing, and it is not by accident. This moment was written long before you were born, and now heaven has aligned your eyes with these words because there is something hidden you were never told, something powerful that concerns your destiny, your future, and your heart. A person who fell in love with you has carried a secret that even the world could not contain, and God says today is the day you are allowed to finally hear it, because this truth has been waiting to be revealed. You might not even realize how much this person has been holding inside, how much they have been praying silently, weeping quietly, and hiding their emotions because they were afraid of how deeply they loved you. God says, this is not a coincidence. You are reading this because heaven decided that no more delays, no more confusion, no more secrecy will stand between you and the truth of this love that has been bound to your spirit. Archangel Michael says, you have been tested, you have been betrayed, you have been disappointed by people who swore loyalty but broke your heart, yet this one person, this hidden admirer, has been carrying a flame for you so real that it burns in heaven's sight. They tried to walk away from it, but heaven did not allow them, because what they feel for you was not given by flesh or desire alone. It was written into their soul before their birth. This is why they dream about you at night, why they wake with your name trembling in their heart, why sometimes they cry without understanding why, because the pull towards you is greater than anything they have ever known. God says, you have been asking for signs, and this is the sign. This is the voice of heaven saying, pay attention. You are not unloved, you are not abandoned, you are not forgotten. There is one who carries your image in their heart as though it were a sacred treasure, one who whispers prayers for you when no one else is around, one who secretly asks God to protect you, even when you do not know they are interceding for your soul. Archangel Michael says, listen carefully, because there is urgency in this. This person who fell in love with you has faced battles you cannot see, and one of their battles is the fear of confessing what they feel. They believe you are too bright, too chosen, too far beyond their reach. They believe that if they expose their heart, they could lose you forever. But God says their fear will not stop what is divine. Heaven has already appointed a time where the truth will no longer be hidden, and your life will be shaken by this revelation. God says, do not underestimate how powerful love can be when it is orchestrated by heaven. The world may try to stop it, enemies may try to distort it, whispers may try to break it apart, but when God ties two spirits together, no force in earth or hell can cut that bond. This is why you feel restless some nights, as though someone is calling your soul. This is why you sometimes feel sudden warmth in your chest, as though love was brushing against you invisibly. That is because their prayers are reaching you, their emotions are echoing in the spirit, and your heart is not blind. You can sense something, even if you don't have the words for it yet. God says, this person is more important to your destiny than you know. They are not a random admirer, they are not a fleeting crush, they are not a shallow affection that will fade tomorrow. No, This is a connection that heaven has been protecting, even while you doubted love could ever find you. Archangel Michael says you need to understand that the reason you went through so many heartbreaks, betrayals, and disappointments was not because you were cursed, but because God was filtering out every counterfeit love, every false promise, every manipulator, so that when the real one steps forward, you will know it by the purity of their soul. This person has already been chosen to be a blessing in your life, not a curse, a partner and not a deceiver, a protector and not a betrayer. Heaven says they love you not just for who you are outwardly, but for the very core of your being, the part of you that even you sometimes struggle to love. They see your scars and they want to protect them. They see your pain and they want to heal it. They see your strength and they want to walk beside it. God says, there is an urgency because the enemy has tried to blind you from recognizing this love. The enemy has tried to surround you with counterfeit lovers, toxic people, liars, manipulators, people who only wanted to use you, so that you would grow bitter and distrustful. They wanted to break your heart so badly that when the true one came, you would reject them too. But Archangel Michael says, the plan of the enemy has failed. You are still standing. You are still open. You are still able to believe in love, even if part of you is afraid. That small spark of faith you hold, that small hope you carry even after all the pain, that is why heaven is moving right now. Because God says, enough is enough. You deserve to know the truth. You deserve to feel the love that has been hidden. You deserve to be seen and cherished by the one who has been silently carrying your heart. Archangel Michael says, this person who fell in love with you has been tested too. They have been tempted to forget you, to run from what they feel, to bury it under distractions, but each time they tried, their soul was pulled back to you. Even when they tried to force themselves to move on, something stronger kept calling them back, and that something was God's hand. This is why they feel restless when they are away from you, why they cannot find true joy in others, why they sometimes feel incomplete even when their life seems fine. Because their heart knows the truth, you are the missing part. You are the prayer they never knew would be answered. You are the one their spirit recognizes beyond explanation. God says, they are waking up to this truth more and more each day, and soon, the walls they built will crumble, the silence they held will break, and you will hear words you never thought would be spoken. God says, be ready. Because this is not just about romance. This is about destiny. The one who fell in love with you has a role to play in your journey, and your union will unlock blessings that have been waiting for you both. You are not just being brought together for comfort, but for purpose. There is a divine assignment that requires both of you, a spiritual alignment that will shake the ground beneath you. That is why Archangel Michael is sounding the trumpet today, warning you not to ignore this message, not to brush it off, not to think it is coincidence, because God says, I am confirming to you that this love is real, it is sacred, and it is for you. And God says, you need to open your heart. Do not let past wounds chain you. Do not let the whispers of doubt steal what is yours. Do not let fear silence the miracle that is approaching. Archangel Michael says, if you trust, if you believe, if you allow your spirit to receive, you will see something unfold in your life so extraordinary, so breathtaking, that you will know beyond doubt that heaven had its hand on this all along. You will realize that every tear, every heartbreak, every lonely night was leading to this, to the moment where you finally stand face to face with the one who loved you in secret and is now called to love you openly. God says, be patient a little longer, because the revelation is closer than you think. And when it comes, it will not come in whispers but in waves. It will not come in doubt but in certainty. It will not come in confusion but in clarity. Because God Himself has written this story, and what God writes cannot be erased by man. Archangel Michael says, the heavens are rejoicing already, because your heart is about to be filled with the love it deserves. God says, important alert, this is not a mistake, this is not a coincidence, you are seeing these words at this exact moment because heaven has aligned the timing to open your eyes. Archangel Michael says, you are seeing this message because God wants you to know the truth. A person who fell in love with you is carrying a secret that could change everything about the way you see your life right now. They are not someone ordinary, they are not someone who just walked into your path by chance. This person was divinely sent, and yet their silence has been heavy, because what they feel for you is overwhelming, almost unbearable, and they are afraid of the weight of their own heart. Michael says, they cry in private because they do not know how to tell you, they replay the words again and again, and every night they imagine how your eyes would look when you finally learn how deeply they love you. God is telling me to say to you that this person's love is not a weak or casual emotion. It is a love that has been planted like a seed in their soul long before they even realized it. When they first saw you, they felt a pull that they could not explain, a magnetic current that shook them from the inside. They knew you were not like anyone else, but they tried to resist because they did not understand how powerful the connection was. But the more they tried to fight it, the stronger it became. Michael says this is not human coincidence, this is divine design. Their heart beats faster when your name appears, their hands tremble when they think of reaching out, and sometimes they even feel your presence near them when you are not physically there, as if your spirit calls out to theirs in silence. You may have wondered, why do you keep seeing signs, repeated numbers, sudden flashes of memories, strange coincidences that tie back to them? God says, it is because this love is woven into your destiny. The angels have been arranging signs around you, hoping you will notice, hoping you will not ignore it anymore. But because you have doubts, you question, and because you are afraid of being hurt, you close your heart quickly, telling yourself it cannot be real. Michael is shouting to you now, do not close your heart anymore. This is not an accident. You are not imagining this. The person who fell in love with you is real, their feelings are real, and their hesitation is only because of fear of losing you. God says, they hide their emotions because they feel unworthy. They look at you and see someone radiant, chosen, someone guided by a higher light, and they ask themselves, how could I ever be good enough? They struggle with this question daily, and sometimes it keeps them away, because they think you deserve someone more powerful, someone more perfect, someone without scars. But what they do not know is that God Himself placed this bond, and God Himself has chosen them to love you, not someone else. They are the one who carries this mission in their heart, whether they accept it or not. Michael says, when you sleep, they think of you. When you wake, they whisper your name in their heart. When they see your picture, something inside them aches, a longing so deep they cannot explain it to anyone. They keep it hidden, because they fear being rejected, they fear you will not understand, they fear you will walk away. But heaven says you need to know the truth, because if you continue doubting, you might miss what is meant for you. The one who fell in love with you has already prayed to God about you. Yes, they have prayed secretly, asking heaven for guidance, asking, God, is this person really meant for me? If they are, show me a sign. And God has answered them with dreams, with signs, with moments they cannot explain. But still they hesitate. Still they hold back. And that is why God is sending this message to you, to open the veil, to expose what has been hidden. This is not to confuse you, but to strengthen your faith that you are loved more than you realize. You have cried thinking no one sees you, no one understands, no one truly loves you with pure intentions. But heaven says, there is someone right now carrying the weight of this love in silence, because they cannot yet say it aloud. And their silence is not rejection, it is protection, because they are afraid of hurting you if they come unprepared. God says, the time of waiting is closing, the truth will not remain hidden forever. Very soon, something will happen that will force this person to show you, whether through words, or through an act they cannot control. Their love is like fire, it cannot remain hidden much longer, it will burst out. Archangel Michael says, prepare yourself, because when you hear it, when you see the truth revealed, your heart will shake. You will cry, not because of pain, but because you will finally realize you were never unloved, never forgotten, never left behind. This love is not an ordinary love. It is not just about romance, it is about destiny, about mission, about divine timing. God says, when this person finally opens their heart to you, your life will shift in ways you cannot imagine. The blessings attached to this union are bigger than you think. It is not only about you and them, it is about what God will do through both of you together. The angels are saying that when the two of you align, miracles will multiply, doors will open, abundance will pour, and healing will flow not only into your lives but also into others who will be touched by your story. Michael says, he has been guarding this person, protecting their love for you, because there were dark forces that tried to interfere. There were people jealous, people envious, people who wanted to block this connection. Some even whispered lies about you, trying to turn their heart away. But no matter how much the interference came, their love never died. It only grew stronger, even in silence. And that silence has been painful, but it has also been sacred, because it has kept the purity of this love untouched until the right moment. God is saying, be ready. This message is not just to comfort you, it is to prepare you. Because when the truth comes out, you will need to respond not with fear, not with doubt, but with openness. If you reject it out of fear, you might delay the blessing. If you embrace it with faith, you will see what heaven has been preparing behind the scenes. Michael says, do not run away from this truth, do not pretend you didn't see this, do not ignore it like you ignored other signs. This time is crucial. Even as I write these words, heaven is moving, aligning moments, aligning conversations, aligning encounters. This person who loves you is already restless, already thinking about taking the step. Their heart is heavy, they can no longer carry the secret alone. They are trembling, because they know the truth will soon be revealed. And when it is, you will remember this message and you will know God had already told you. God says, my child, you have been asking me if you are lovable, if anyone could ever love you the way you need. And I am telling you now, yes. There is one who already does. They may not have spoken it, but their soul screams it every day. Trust me. Trust Michael. Trust that this love is real, and that I will not let you walk alone. Michael says, if you feel chills while reading this, it is because your spirit already knows this truth. If tears come, it is because your soul is finally releasing the burden of doubt. This message is your confirmation. This message is heaven's voice saying, you are loved. You are chosen. You are not forgotten. And God is repeating again, the person who fell in love with you is closer than you think. Watch what happens next. God says, important alert. Archangel Michael says, you are seeing this message because God wants you to know this truth. A person who fell in love with you is not just anyone, not just a fleeting stranger or a passing admirer, but someone whose soul has been secretly bound to yours by divine thread since before you even entered this world. This is not by accident, it is not by chance, it is not by coincidence. This is the orchestration of heaven, the will of God, the silent orchestration that angels themselves marvel at, for when God writes a love story, no power of man and no scheme of the enemy can erase what he has already written. And Archangel Michael is standing before you now, holding a scroll sealed with the seal of heaven, saying that the truth of this person's love is being revealed in this moment because time is running out. You cannot remain in the dark any longer, you cannot remain blind to the signs that heaven has placed in front of you, and you cannot ignore the pounding in your heart every time your spirit feels the weight of their soul reaching for you. This person who fell in love with you has carried their feelings in silence. They have been weeping in secret places where no one sees, praying in nights when everyone else is asleep, whispering your name into the heavens with tears in their eyes, begging God to make a way. They have walked around with the heaviness of loving you in silence, unsure if you could ever know, unsure if they could ever confess, unsure if destiny itself would betray them or bring them closer to you. And God says, today their silence ends, because heaven is exposing the truth. Michael is not whispering this, he is shouting it, commanding you to hear. Their love for you is not a passing feeling, it is not mere attraction, it is not a temporary emotion. Their love for you is eternal, spiritual, and unshakable. God says, every time they look at you, their spirit trembles, because in you they see not only beauty, not only grace, but also the reflection of God's light. They see in you something they cannot describe to anyone else. They feel as if you are the missing chapter of their life, the one piece of their heart they were searching for in 1,000 empty places. They tried to run from it. They tried to deny it. They tried to silence their feelings, but the more they fought it, the louder heaven spoke to them, the more their dreams pointed to you, the more their spirit ached when you were not near. Michael says, child of God, you have asked so many times why certain faces haunt your dreams, why you feel a sudden warmth when you think of them, why your heart beats faster when you sense their name in the air. It is not madness, it is not imagination, it is the spiritual bond. God has been tugging at you, trying to show you, trying to make you aware. This is why certain encounters repeat, this is why certain conversations echo in your soul, this is why no matter how you try to bury it, something always pulls it back to the surface. Heaven is crying out for you to see what God already revealed to them, that your souls are entangled in ways the natural mind cannot explain. This person who fell in love with you has been carrying not only the weight of love but also the weight of fear. Fear that you would never know, fear that the enemy would destroy the connection, fear that timing would rob them of their chance. They wake up in the middle of the night trembling, because they feel your spirit calling out, because they sense you too feel something but do not understand it. They have written letters to you they never sent, words poured from their heart they were too afraid to let you read, conversations rehearsed in their mind but swallowed in silence. They have stood at the edge of confession 100 times but backed away, waiting for a sign from God, waiting for the right moment, waiting for heaven's green light. And Michael says, that moment is now. You cannot ignore this, you cannot dismiss this, because this is no ordinary love. This is covenantal. This is divine. This is love written before your birth. God Himself put this in their heart because God says, urgent message only for you, my beloved. I send this to your soul because the timing is divine, and there are no accidents in the way this message has come to you today. I need you to stop for a moment, breathe, and understand that the words flowing into your heart right now are not ordinary. They carry the weight of heaven, the whisper of eternity, and the love of the angels who surround you at this very hour. Archangel Michael is standing beside you, his sword of light blazing, his wings stretched out to shield you. He speaks with urgency, with deep sincerity, because you are being entrusted with a truth that has been hidden from you for too long. A person has fallen in love with you. Not in the shallow sense the world so often portrays, not in fleeting passion or temporary attraction, but in a way that has touched their spirit, in a way that binds them to your soul. This is not ordinary love. This is not something that can be manufactured, faked, or broken by circumstance. It is love that was written before you were born, love that heaven itself placed in the divine script of your life. You have felt this pull, haven't you? Late at night, when the world is quiet, when your own thoughts try to silence themselves but your heart beats louder, you've wondered why you feel such a deep connection, even when you cannot fully explain it. God says you must not ignore this. You must not run from this revelation, for the truth is being delivered to you because the time has come to see clearly. Heaven has watched as you doubted yourself, as you wondered if you were worthy of such love, as you feared betrayal, abandonment, or pain. But God says, you are worthy, you are chosen, and you are safe. This person who has fallen in love with you carries a light that is drawn to yours. They see in you what others overlook. They recognize in you the strength, the gentleness, the purity, and the resilience that heaven itself treasures. Archangel Michael says this love is not a coincidence. There are no coincidences when it comes to the heart. God arranges encounters, conversations, and moments that look ordinary but are miracles in disguise. This person was placed on your path for a reason. Their presence in your life carries purpose, even if everything has not been revealed yet. Perhaps they have not told you the depth of their feelings. Perhaps they are afraid, or perhaps circumstances have made it hard for them to show you. But heaven is exposing this truth today because God does not want you in the dark anymore. You must know, you are deeply loved. You may have cried in silence, thinking no one truly saw you. You may have felt abandoned, rejected, or forgotten. But God says, every tear you cried was counted, every prayer you whispered was heard, every wound you carried has been tended to by angels while you slept. And now, as a gift for your endurance, as a testimony of your faith, love is being revealed. You did not beg for it. You did not chase it. It was written for you. It was meant for you. This love may not look perfect on the outside. It may even be messy, complicated, or uncertain in the way it shows up in your life. But God says, do not be fooled by appearances. The truth of the heart cannot be measured by human standards. This person has fought silent battles in their mind about you. They have wondered if they were enough for you, if they could step forward, if they could carry the responsibility of loving you the way you deserve. They may have been weak in showing it, but heaven sees their heart. And their heart is yours. Archangel Michael says, trust. This word is not easy for you, because trust has been broken before. People you loved have disappointed you. People you gave your all to have let you down. You have scars that remind you of betrayal. But Michael says, this is not like before. This is not like those who played with your heart. This person has been chosen to love you differently. Their love is not about taking, it is about giving. Their love is not about draining, it is about pouring into you. Their love is not about hurting, it is about healing. God says you have prayed for love that is true. And while you thought heaven was silent, heaven was preparing. You needed to grow, to become strong enough to receive this love. They too needed to grow, to shed the things in their life that made them unready. Now, the season is shifting. The angels have opened the book of your destiny, and on this very page it is written, a person has fallen in love with you, and nothing will stop what heaven has ordained. You may ask yourself, but why me? Why do they love me? And God answers, because I made you in beauty. I made you in kindness. I made you to carry light even in darkness. They see what I see, my child, they see me in you. And that is why their soul cannot resist the pull toward you. Archangel Michael says, do not fear the unknown. The path ahead may have mysteries, but you are not walking alone. You are guarded, you are protected, and you are being guided. If confusion tries to cloud your heart, pray. If fear rises, pray. If doubt screams loudly, pray. For prayer clears the way, prayer strengthens the bond, prayer opens doors no human hand can shut. This person who loves you has been thinking of you even when you could not see it. They dream of you, they wonder about you, they feel drawn to you in ways they cannot explain. Some nights, they wrestle with the thought of losing you. Some days, they imagine what life would be like fully with you. And though fear sometimes holds them back, their love does not die. It grows. God says, you must prepare your heart, because this revelation is not for nothing. Heaven is aligning circumstances so that what was hidden will be made known. Conversations will happen. Signs will appear. You will notice synchronicities that are too precise to be accidents. And when you see them, know that heaven is speaking to you, reminding you of this truth. Someone has fallen in love with you, and it is ordained. Archangel Michael says, do not push away what is divine. Sometimes you sabotage blessings out of fear of disappointment. Sometimes you shut doors because you are afraid of what might happen if you open them. But Michael begs you, do not shut this door. Do not run from this blessing. God has heard your cries for love that is real, and this is His answer. And so I tell you now, rest in this truth. Do not force it, do not rush it, but also do not deny it. Love is not coming to destroy you, it is coming to build you. It is not coming to wound you, it is coming to heal you. It is not coming to abandon you, it is coming to stay. Even if you cannot see the full picture, heaven can. Even if you cannot feel all of it yet, your spirit knows it is true. Trust that God would not reveal this unless it was important for you to know. Trust that Archangel Michael would not deliver this message unless your heart was ready. The journey ahead will be full of signs, full of confirmations, full of divine nudges. Pay attention. Open your eyes. Open your heart. The truth has been spoken, a person has fallen in love with you. And soon, the world will show you what heaven has already declared. God says, be at peace. You are safe. You are loved. You are chosen. You are never forgotten. The one who has fallen in love with you was guided by my hand, and I will protect what I have written. This message is sealed with divine light, with Archangel Michael's protection, and with my eternal love for you. Receive it. Believe it. Hold it close. For it is yours. God says, important alert, urgent message, only for you. God says, Archangel Michael is standing close to you right now, whispering urgently into your spirit because this moment is not ordinary, it carries a truth that heaven has been waiting to reveal to you. You are seeing this message not by accident, not by chance, but because God Himself has positioned you here to receive what others were not meant to know. Michael says, you are seeing this because a person who fell in love with you has been crying silently, has been walking with a weight in their heart, carrying feelings that heaven itself has witnessed but you have not fully seen. God says, you must not ignore this, you must not dismiss this as ordinary words, because this is the exact message that has been prepared only for you, and the Spirit of the Lord is pressing you to open your heart wide to receive it. God says, there is someone who fell in love with you long ago, but they never fully admitted it, they never fully revealed it, because they were afraid of what it would mean, afraid of rejection, afraid of change. Yet heaven saw their heart. Heaven saw the way they looked at you when no one else was watching. Heaven saw the way their spirit longed for you, the way their soul cried out silently in the night. Michael says, they prayed for you without you even knowing. They carried you in their secret prayers, whispered your name in front of God, asking Him to protect you, to guide you, to lift you whenever you felt weak. They loved you not only in the ordinary human way, but in a way that reached beyond themselves, beyond their fears, into something sacred. God says, this is why you are receiving this urgent word now, because the love they have for you was never just their own. It was something placed inside them by heaven itself, something divinely ordained, something too powerful to be hidden forever. Archangel Michael says, this is why your soul has been restless, why sometimes you felt a presence around you, why sometimes you woke up with the sense that someone was thinking about you, someone was reaching for you in the spirit, even though they were far away. That was not imagination, that was not coincidence. That was their heart calling out to yours, their love reaching through the unseen. God says, this person's love has been tested. They have gone through storms, betrayals, losses, and disappointments, yet their heart for you remained. Even when they tried to forget you, they could not. Even when they told themselves to let go, heaven did not allow them to. Michael says, this is because their love is tied to your destiny. Their heart was chosen to walk with yours, their soul was marked with your name. You may not fully understand it now, but in heaven's book your paths were written to cross, your lives were woven together in a divine design. God says, you are safe. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are under divine protection, and you must trust that what is being revealed is not for harm, not for confusion, but for clarity. The Lord says, this person fell in love with you because your light broke into their darkness. Your kindness healed their wounds. Your spirit reminded them of heaven. Even in your silence, even in your absence, you were speaking to their heart in a way no one else ever could. They could not escape it, because it was not meant to be escaped, it was meant to be revealed at the appointed time. Archangel Michael says, you must understand this is an urgent message, because time is shifting. What was hidden is being uncovered. What was delayed is being released. What was unsaid is about to be spoken. God says, the love that has been sealed will now be unsealed, because your heart is ready to hear, your spirit is ready to receive. You are not reading this by accident. You are being called into alignment with a truth that heaven has been guarding carefully until this very moment. God says, child, you may have wondered why you felt such a strange emptiness, even when surrounded by people. You may have wondered why certain relationships failed, why certain people could not stay, why certain doors closed even when you wanted them open. Michael says, it is because heaven was preserving you for the one whose heart was marked for you. The one who fell in love with you silently was being prepared, tested, purified, so that when the time came, their love for you would be strong, unshakable, not built on illusions, not built on selfishness, but built on divine truth. God says, you are not alone. Even when you thought no one saw you, no one cared, heaven was watching, and this person's heart was carrying you. Even when you felt abandoned, they were silently there, thinking of you, remembering you, loving you in the hidden places of their soul. They could not tell you, but heaven is telling you now, because the time of concealment has ended. Michael says, do not doubt this message. The enemy will try to bring confusion, will try to whisper lies, but God says you are safe, protected, and guided. Your role now is to pray, to stay open, to let God unfold the truth step by step. Do not rush, do not fear, do not close your heart. God says, the truth is being revealed for your healing, for your joy, for your destiny. God says, every tear you cried was seen. Every prayer you prayed was heard. Every hope you buried is being resurrected. The love that is about to surface is not ordinary, it is heaven sent. Michael says, you are chosen for this love, you are chosen to receive it, and you must not doubt your worthiness. You are worthy because heaven says so. You are worthy because God Himself created you for this moment. Child, God says, trust Him. Pray to Him. Lean on Him. Let Him show you what is hidden, let Him open your eyes to what your heart already sensed. The person who fell in love with you is real, their feelings are real, their tears are real, their prayers are real. Heaven does not lie. Michael does not speak without cause. You are receiving this message because God Himself has decided it is time for you to know. And God says again, you are safe. Nothing will go wrong. You only need to trust Him, to pray, to believe. Heaven is unfolding a miracle of love in your life, and all you need to do is receive it. God says, urgent message only for you, child of light, this is no ordinary moment you are living in. It is not by chance that your eyes are reading these words, for in the heavenly places your name was whispered, and the voice of God said, reveal this now, because the time has come. Archangel Michael himself stands at your side, his sword drawn not against flesh but against the shadows that tried to blind you. This is an urgent message, one that carries the weight of heaven, and it comes with a truth you were never supposed to see so clearly. A person who fell in love with you has been silently holding this secret, carrying this love as if it were the most fragile treasure, fearing what would happen if you ever discovered it. Yes, child, someone has loved you in the quiet hours of the night, when no one was watching, when tears slipped from their eyes because they could not tell you the depth of what they feel. Their heart beats differently when your name is spoken. Their life has been redirected by God Himself, for God planted this love inside them not for destruction, but for divine purpose. You have been wondering why you often feel the strange pull in your spirit, why your soul sometimes feels a sudden rush of warmth, like someone calling you without words. That was their spirit touching yours. That was their love traveling through the unseen realms. And Archangel Michael says you must not dismiss this as imagination, because this is a heavenly truth reaching you now. You must know, chosen one, that the forces of darkness tried to bury this connection. They tried to cloud the mind of the one who loves you, making them question whether they were worthy, making them doubt whether you could ever feel the same. But every time they tried to silence this love, God kept reviving it. This is not a simple attraction, this is not worldly desire, this is a love marked by God's fingerprints. When heaven ordains love, no earthly power can cancel it. That is why, even when you thought you were forgotten, even when loneliness pressed against your chest, there was still a vibration in your spirit telling you, someone out there is carrying you in their heart. Archangel Michael speaks firmly. This person cries for you, prays for you, watches over you even in secret ways. They are not as far from you as you think. Their prayers have reached heaven, and God heard them cry out your name. They said to God, if it is your will, let me love them, let me protect them, let me stand by them. And God answered by weaving your souls together in ways you cannot yet fully see. This love is not an accident, it is divine appointment. But the enemy has been trying to distract you, to throw confusion into your path, to send counterfeit people pretending to care for you, while this true heart that God selected has been patiently waiting in the shadows. The truth is, chosen one, you may not have realized just how deeply this person sees you. They see beyond your words, beyond your masks, beyond your daily struggles. They see the raw, unfiltered you, and still they say, I choose them. I love them. I will not give up on them. Do you understand the weight of such a love? It is rare, it is holy, it is a reflection of how God Himself loves you, unconditional, patient, eternal. God says you must not live in fear of this love, for love that is from Him carries no chains. It carries freedom, it carries healing, it carries restoration. This person's love is not meant to break you, it is meant to build you. They were assigned to remind you of your worth, of the beauty within you that the world tried to trample down. That is why Archangel Michael says it is urgent. You must open your heart, because the moment you allow yourself to feel what heaven has been placing inside you, doors of blessing will break open. Understand, my child, that you have been through betrayals, you have faced people who lied, who only wanted to use you. That pain left scars, and those scars made you question whether love could ever be safe again. But God says, this love is different. This one is not here to wound you, but to help heal the very wounds others left behind. They are not here to take from you, but to pour into you. They are not here to abandon you, but to stay. That is why their soul has been restless. They cannot ignore what God has placed within them. Perhaps you have felt their presence without knowing. Perhaps you have dreamed of them, sensed them, heard their name whispered in your spirit. This is because God has been preparing you, little by little, softening your heart so that when the truth is revealed, you will not run away in fear but embrace it with gratitude. Archangel Michael says this is